Do you see this, man? That's the undeniable look of defeat. And the reaction from the crowd was ferocious as much as it was warranted.
Hulk Hogan keeps getting booed, and it's so embarrassing!
Yet one former wrestler had really important insights to deliver.
But right now, you know, with the social climate and the things that he said and done and his lack of effort to try to fix it, people are going to come down on him. I never had an issue with him before I heard all of the stuff. And even then, I believe in giving second chances. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a fix-it person. I'm not going to dwell on the negative. I'm not going to talk about the past. We're going forward. And he never wanted to go forward and fix it. So, you know, that's what happens when you think that everything is going to go away. It's not going to go away.
That being Mark Henry. And when asked if the two ever had a conversation about Hulk's troubled past.
No, he thinks it's going to go away. That it's not going to be that dark cloud over his career. I have not said, you know, I offered to say, hey, let's do a tour of the black colleges, law schools, and explain what happened. He didn't want to do that.
It's revealing. And if unaware, as we have covered previously,
Hogan is heard on the tape, which was recorded in 2006, talking about his daughter Brooke, who he accused of sleeping with an African American. I mean, I am a racist to a point. But then, when it comes to nice people and whatever, then says, I mean, I'd rather, if she was going to I'd rather have her marry an 8-foot worth $100 million, like a basketball player. Guess we're all a little racist.
What we saw in that tape is exactly what 21st century racism looks like. You may like black people and be friendly to black children, but you don't want your child to marry a black person.
And clearly he has continued falling short. In a story that we brought to you yesterday, there were some sources from one site that said essentially Hulk thought it was a political hit job, which it was not.
Hulk Hogan walking out trying to shill that beer and getting booed out of the Intuit Dome to the high heavens. I'm like, you know what? Penta could wait. Penta could wait. Because there wasn't much more of an appropriate moment of professional wrestling as a fan that I was more proud to be a fan than that moment. This was the WWE and pro wrestling jumping into the future with Netflix, with technology. And this was the WWE universe loudly saying, we are not trying to bring this guy with us to the future.
Kaz, a man who I truly admire and respect, gave his 2 cents on the subject. And hey, just a quick break in the action. You should go subscribe to my new show, The Rick Strom Show. I'm going to be interviewing people from sports, music, journalists, authors, sports doctors. It's going to be fantastic. Please go subscribe. Thank you.
I just think the wrestling fan over the past 15 or 20 years have gotten to know who Terry Bollea is for the past several years, and they let him know exactly what they think about him. And when it comes to that sort of stage, it was a chef's kiss. It was like, thank you, WWE Universe. Thank you, fans, for not disappointing me. Just a few moments earlier, The Undertaker comes out on his motorcycle, and nobody seemed to boo him. He came to rev the motorcycle. Rhea Ripley did the fist up, and we all know where The Undertaker leans. He had Donald Trump on his podcast. Nobody booed him. You know, I think it was a combination of a lot of things. I think most WWE fans have gotten to know the real Terry Bollea for the past several years, whether it's, messing up the union that was probably trying to be put together for WWE that he openly snitched on in the Vince McMahon documentary.
And if one does not remember the union-busting effort he went on...
You and Hulk were once good friends.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood of that ever being repaired?
Never. And he's the one that ratted me to Vince when I tried to unionize. I found that out under federal deposition when Vince was put under sworn, and he didn't hesitate at all. I told my lawyer the story, and in deposition you can ask about anything. And so I wanted to know who ratted me in the locker room, because there were no agents, no one from the office was in there when I did it. So it had to be one of the boys. And when my attorney said, Mr. McMahon, has there ever been a union in wrestling? And Vince said, no. He said, has anyone ever tried to? And Vince said, well, I think Jesse Ventura spouted his mouth off about it once before. And my attorney said, did you hear Mr. Ventura? No. Well, then how do you know he did? With no hesitation, Vince went, Hulk Hogan told me. And I didn't show any emotion, but I almost tipped over in the chair because he was my friend.
So look, let me say this. I think it is wise that the WWE essentially did a test run. I think there's a cause and effect here. The cause is they trot Hulk Hogan out because they are now in bed with him because of the partnership they have with Real American Beer. And they did this as like, all right, we're in business together. We rescinded your Hall of Fame status because of you saying that you are a racist on tape and using the N-word multiple times. We're actually 3 years later going to put you back in the Hall of Fame, but let's just see how the crowd reacts. And I agree with Kaz that that crowd booing him mercilessly, as I stated previously, is now going to say to Triple H and others, yeah, I think we're good here. We'll have the sponsorship. We'll make mention of it. We'll promote it. But we don't need to do the song and dance anymore with you. I'm sure he will make one more appearance at another venue, and that'll probably be it. And the other part that I really want to touch on is that what Mark Henry said about how he didn't want to learn, and the previous lawsuit that revealed that he's a total racist, and then the allegations that were brought forth by a model who claims that she was let go because of her race when promoting Real American Beer. A lot there. There's a lot there. And as someone who was a humongous fan, I had one of those wrestling buddies when I was a kid of Hulk Hogan. I actually had two. I had the Hulkster, and then I had when he was in NWO. To see this falling from grace is really tough. It's really tough. But you know what? People evolve in certain ways or they stay the same. And for Hulk Hogan, unfortunately, he revealed who he truly was over and over and over and over and over again. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.